Good evening.
Good evening.
Are you both well?
We are.
Yeah.
Jolly good. Excellent stuff. And Mandy, you're smiling as always.
Of course.
Now, luckily, you didn't see what was going on a few minutes ago. Mand was being a little bit cruel to her partner in crime. I could see that little dig going on there, Mand. Oh, we've got tongues bobbing. We've got everything. See, this is where we should have Facebook Live on today.
Yeah.
So, welcome on this wet Friday night to the waterfront.
Thank you for having us.
That's okay. Now, I'm pretty sure normally you'd be doing something far more exciting than being in a studio on a Friday night.
Now, what could be more exciting than this show?
Well, I mean, you know, some might argue there's lots of things like watching paint dry, as it's me on the radio today. But I know both of you are extremely keen gig goers.
We are.
We are, definitely.
Excellent stuff. So, Mand, how many gigs do you reckon you've already been to this year so far?
Well, the thing is, at the grassroots level,
Yes.
you can go to a lot of gigs a week.
Absolutely.
Because you're looking at around a tenner ticket price.
Yeah.
So think how many you can pack in to equal the cost of a ticket to a great big stadium.
Sure.
Where you might see a little speck on the stage.
Or just watch the screen, isn't it,
That's
sometimes?
Right. Yeah. But I like to get in there and have a chat with the band and a drink at the bar, and it's much better.
We are here to talk about gigs, and you guys set something up. So, Steve, how long ago did you set GigJuice up?
Well, we started this probably just before the pandemic hit.
Yes.
So we thought, we could do with going out somewhere, find somewhere, but we couldn't find out what was going on.
Okay.
So we were sat in this pub working out what to go and listen to, and we were just having a general discussion. And my background is developing systems.
Yes.
So I said, you know what? I can create you an app or a website or something that does that. And she said, yeah, we could do something like that. So we started discussing it, having a go. Obviously, the pandemic hit. Everyone got shut down.
Didn't we just?
Yeah. So it was all like, how far is this going to go? But then things have started to pick up.
Certainly.
We've got a lot of interest, and it's evolved. It's evolved as an idea. And more people get excited. Most people we speak to about it go, yeah, that's a great idea. Why didn't we think of that?
Sure.
But, the industry is still trying to come out of the pandemic. Mm-hmm. It's still trying to recover. We're still trying to get people out to the gigs.
Sure.
And there's a lot of things that people need to do to promote themselves. It's hard work.
It certainly is. I mean, obviously, my background is theatre, so we have exactly the same sort of issues in theatres at the moment. I was at a play last night, and there was about 2/3 of an audience in there, and you think it's such a shame when people are working their socks off and doing an absolute amazing job that people are still a little bit apprehensive, maybe, or they've forgotten that they're allowed to enjoy themselves. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, there is generally something on somewhere to go and get involved with.
Well, I think if the people involved weren't so passionate about what they do,
yes,
I think the whole industry would suffer.
Sure.
There would be nowhere to go because no one would bother. It's hard for an up-and-coming band to get noticed. It's hard for an up-and-coming band to get the gigs that are actually make it worth a while. And if it wasn't for the passion, why would they do it?
Yeah.
I mean, so it's hard work.
Passion is the main thing in life, isn't it? That's what gets us out of bed in the morning. So, Mand, with GigJuice itself, so if people have never heard of it, in a nutshell, what is GigJuice?
GigJuice is a social media platform that's all about music.
Okay.
The thing that most people will want to know is it's completely free.
Brilliant.
There's no app required, so it's not going to clog your phone memory up. It's a progressive web app, so you just go to the website. You can literally, it comes on, what's on will come on the day that you're on, and then you scroll forward and you're not going to miss anything.
Brilliant stuff. Okay. Just to recap, so with GigJuice, this is for all music lovers.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is for bands. This is for venues. This is for anybody who is involved in music or loves music.
Promoters, festivals, everything. DJs, anything.
Brilliant stuff. Excellent. So, I mean, where are you covering at the moment?
We've sort of started in the West Midlands.
Best place to be.
Absolutely.
Yay.
This is where we're based. But obviously we can see that it could go a lot further.
Sure.
But before we go, let's get really carried away. Let's get it right.
Yeah.
Let's promote the West Midlands, because it is full of a lot of talent.
Sure.
Let's get the talent recognised, and then let's see how we can make that happen. So if we can get then more people talking to us, we've still got quite a few people around the country on board.
Yes, I noticed some places in Bristol, for example, which is great. So yeah, I mean, it looks like you've certainly been busy. I think I looked on your site maybe about 6 months ago. Mand was probably bending my ear at a football match, and I remember having a flick through just to see what bands were coming up locally. But certainly since then, it looks a bigger beast now, which is great.
Well, I'd like to say, if you like music, please support us. Sign up. It's free. It's
How
not
much?
going to cost you anything. Free.
Brilliant.
There's no catch. But the more of us join, the stronger we are. You can see where the music's on, check out bands. If you don't know what their music's like, you'll be able to find out. Bands, we can help you sell your merch with no... we're not stinging you for commission or anything like that.
Brilliant.
If you're planning to put a festival on, it's a one-stop shop. We can have businesses on there as long as you're connected with music, but it's free for everyone to join in. There may be people out there who would really like to go to a gig and can't think of anyone to go with them. GigJuice is your way of connecting with like-minded music lovers.
Brilliant. Now, Mand, what's the website address to? So if people are sat there at home at the moment and say, obviously, they're listening to the cracking music that we're playing tonight on Black Country Radio, but of course they might have their phone in their hand, they might want to have a skim through to see what is available on GigJuice. So what's the website that people need to have a look at?
GigJuice.com.
And gig, G-I-G, juice, G-A-U-I-C-E.com. So
That's
GigJuice. And you guys have also got some social media presence as well.
Yes, you can find us on social media on the various channels.
Brilliant.
I don't think I can mention them on here.
Well, the
usual
ones. We operate on them as well. So your things like your Facebooks and your Instagrams and things like that. That's no problem. Now, of course, as I said earlier, you always seem to be at one gig or another. So you are massive, passionate about music for yourselves.
Yes.
If I can steal some thunder, your lad is a pretty fine musician, if I remember rightly, as well.
To play his trumpet, yes. He'll be performing at Nozstock.
Nozstock, okay,
Yes.
Fantastic. That's quite a good size gig, that is, isn't it? Really?
Can I give them a plug?
Of course you
quickly?
can, absolutely.
Peewee and the Oneskins. They're a very jolly festival band.
Yes.
They just waves of happiness will come out from the stage.
And Benji on his trumpet.
Yes.
So and he used to play in a couple of bands as well, didn't he? Like various styles of bands, which I absolutely love.
He's actually played trumpet in a rock band.
Yes.
Yeah.
Brilliant stuff.
But he's classically trained, so
Sure.
quite diverse.
Brilliant. I am joined in the studio by two lovely guests joining me tonight from GigJuice, and we've got Amanda, or Mand as she is to me, and we've got Steve, aka Barney. See, they're giving me all their trade secrets when the music is playing. Barney, are we allowed to discuss why you were named Barney?
Yes, because I'm apparently a dinosaur.
Brilliant, I love it.
Just call me old-fashioned, but I'm still classed as a dinosaur.
A dinosaur. Did the young lady sat next to you, did she come up with that?
Well,
or?
strange enough, yes.
Yeah, I could imagine Mand doing that, see.
So,
excellent
the trick
stuff.
is, don't ask Mandy to do a cup of tea, because you suddenly get labelled a dinosaur.
Well, I've been round for dinner before football matches, and I've been presented with drinks without asking. So perhaps that's the key. It's best not to ask.
Oh, yes. I found that out.
Brilliant stuff. Now, guys, so obviously music-wise, what sort of music makes you tick? So, man, let's start with yourself. What are your favourite passions out there, music-wise?
I'm a rocker.
Yes, that's why we get on.
Yes. Led Zeppelin.
Okay.
All the old classic rock makes me tick. Plus a little Coldplay.
Okay.
Yeah.
You went to see Coldplay, didn't you?
I did, yes.
I remember. I didn't go. I think Harrison went. Did he? Ben went. You went.
Yes,
See, every man and his dog went. I
Yeah.
didn't go. I think I looked at the prices of those tickets and went, you know what?
It was truly wonderful.
Yes, indeed.
But as I say, I don't think there's anything more wonderful than being up close to musicians who know how to play their instruments
Absolutely.
and sing, and be able to have a chat with them. So it's far better, I think, to get to these smaller venues and help support these people.
Yeah. And you can feel you can feel the emotion in the room when you've got a fantastic musician rocking out, or whatever genre of music they have, but have got a total passion and that connection with the audience. It's something phenomenal, isn't it? I suppose it's similar to our love of localised football. People talk about the Premiership and go, oh yeah, I followed this team for this many years. However, you're normally sitting that far away where we are. We're so close, and we get to know the players, don't we?
We've been to their Christmas parties.
We certainly have. Now, Mand, talking about gigs, and obviously I know you are a massive gig-going fan. What's the next gig for your good self?
The next gig is at the Robin in Bilston.
The Robin 2?
Yeah.
Yes.
Sure, some of you are familiar with that.
Absolutely. Been rocking there a few times.
It's going to be quite a jolly evening because it's Neil Diamond songs.
Okay,
yeah.
excellent. And this is tomorrow?
Yeah.
Brilliant stuff. So
I'd like to give a big plug to 45 Live in Kidderminster. I don't know whether your listeners are familiar with that venue because it's more recent than some of them. Opposite the town hall. Easy parking, and they're actually putting a band on free of charge, no entry fee tonight for you.
Brilliant.
They'd really like people to go along and check out. It's an excellent venue, and see what they're doing there.
Great stuff. And what's the band tonight there?
They're covers bands, so you'll get a little bit of everything.
Excellent.
Just to start your weekend off right.
Yeah, fantastic. I mean, yeah, we're quite like our covers round here. I mean, we're quite good friends with people like White Tygër, which I think if people you've seen yourselves as
bad
well.
Boys.
They are bad boys, but they're very entertaining bad boys. So yes, they almost make me smile when I see them. And it seems to me it doesn't matter the size of venue for themselves. There's a place in Halesowen that I can't remember the name of it, but literally it almost looks as big as someone's living room. And they were playing there last year when I was walking past, and I was just like going, I heard the music before I could actually see what was going on, and I was like going, I'm pretty sure that sounds like White Tygër, and it was. And then obviously they are playing in some decent sized venues as well.
I saw them actually standing on the bar counter playing their guitars in 45 Live.
Brilliant. That's great to hear. Steve, about you, what's your next gig lined up for yourself?
Well, we're going to go back to 45 Live after here.
Yes.
Unfortunately, the weekend I'm a bit busy, but entertaining.
Good man.
But yeah, we tend to find gigs together.
Yes.
And then we go along and then we have a chat and we try and we're basically doing our promotional tour around all the gigs.
So if your venue's not on GigJuice, please ask them to join us.
Sure.
Or drop me an email and I'll get them added on.
Excellent. And how can people email you then, Mand?
At Mandy@GigJuice.com. Simple as that.
There we go. Mandy@GigJuice.com. Get me teeth in.
If you're in a band and you haven't got your own website, then come and have a page on GigJuice and promote yourself there.
So if you've got a newbie band who maybe don't want to spend a bit of money setting up a website, I mean, let's face it, a good website is quite expensive these days, isn't it? So, but instead they can just have a free page on GigJuice so people can find out a little bit about the band and also, obviously, more importantly, where they're playing.
Yes.
Fantastic.
We also have a post section, just like social media, where you can actually connect with bands. Smaller bands may want to contact larger bands to see if they can get some support.
Brilliant.
Gigs. And fans may want to interact with the bands they're really keen on.
Great stuff. So it's all coming together then, isn't it, really? It's almost like one big happy family.
I think the thing is, what we've tried to create is somewhere where the people on the platform are really all about music, right? That's what their passion is. They like music. But you're not going to get lost in the melee, which is everything else on other social media.
Yeah. Millions of adverts, etc., etc.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? On a lot of social media now, it's about making money.
Yes.
And of course, with that, obviously things get lost, and so you're going to push something out there, but actually how many people are going to actually see it?
Absolutely.
Unless you want to pay.
Yeah.
But if you're a small and up-and-coming band, you haven't got that sort of revenue. So you need places where like-minded people are going to see what you put out there, and you're going to get the message out. And hopefully out of that, we will draw bookings, and fan clubs can be built, and you can start to promote yourself. And it's not costing you anything.
Sure.
So why would you not take something that's free and make it happen?
Makes sense.
Just a bit of your time. That's all it takes.
Brilliant. Now, Steve, obviously we talked about Man's passion for music a little bit earlier, and obviously her roots, like myself, are very much in the rock world. How about you? What sort of music drives you on a day-to-day basis?
All types of music, really. I mean, pretty open, really. I mean, music to me is something that fits in with the mood.
Okay.
So, sometimes you can want something really upbeat.
Yes.
Something happy and exciting.
Sure.
Other times you want something a bit more raunchy.
Yeah. A quick shout out as well to Andy Skinny Jim Johnson from the Memphis Invaders, and he's saying he's got a big gig tomorrow over in Doncaster, so he's got a little bit of travel in front of him, hasn't he? Now
that brings me on to something that I just wanted to make you all aware of. Please do support these bands playing their gigs. You really just can't imagine how many hours it takes them to travel there, set everything up, sound check, and then pack it all away again.
Absolutely.
And get home in the early hours of the morning. Isn't that really worth a tenner and a few hours of your time? Definitely.
Yeah, I mean, one of my buddies, big shout out to Nick Foley. Now, Nick's in a couple of bands, including ATAC, which he's probably the biggest of Nick's bands at the moment, and also with the fantastic bassist from Thunder, Chris Childs, who's both of the guys are local musicians, which is phenomenal. But yeah, some of the stories that I get told about, when they're leaving, and you're going, but you're on this evening, and they'll be leaving in like lunchtime, and then getting home at 2:00 in the morning, and you're like going, okay, wow. It is quite bizarre, isn't it, really, what as musicians they put themselves through to go and spend, whether it be 45 minutes, whether it be an hour and a half, however long that their set is for that venue, all the work that's there beforehand. It's amazing, really.
It's a big commitment, and on GigJuice we won't let you forget a gig. You can go through the what's on, click interested, and then we'll send you an email before the gig's coming up.
Brilliant. And when you say before, as in the day before or week before, how is...
About a week, and then you don't forget the gig.
Brilliant.
Make sure you go.
I must admit, I'm guilty of that. The amount of times that I go, yes, I need to go and see that. In fact, for those who've seen my own social medias will know today, one of my friends is performing tonight at the Alex Theatre in Birmingham. He's been doing a UK tour in Patel's Millions, and I said to him months ago, I said, look, when you come to Birmingham, I will definitely be there. And unfortunately, I'm at the radio station this evening, so I was unable to attend the gig. And yeah, as I say, it's one of those you forget about it, don't you? And it's just so annoying, really. But luckily, I think the tickets, when I had a look, were almost sold out, which is phenomenal in this day and age, isn't it, really, that people are getting out there, because that's what we need them to do. We need them to support, whether it be theatre, whether it be music, whether it be sport, whatever your passion is in life, go follow it, because that's so important to keep everything going, isn't it, really?
It's use it or lose it.
Absolutely, definitely. And I think, we did lose it for a couple of years, and some of us have got back into things a lot smoother than others, but it is a harder place out there, isn't it, for a lot of bands, a lot of theatres.
Music is so good for your mental health, in all its guises. We're trying to keep GigJuice ad-free, so if you know anyone who would like to help us with this mission and sponsor us, that would be most appreciated.
Brilliant.
We're not making any profit out of this. We're just literally trying to make sure those venues don't close.
See, I love that. This is it's like me, the amount of mad theatre projects I do, and and people go, you must have so much energy or finances for this, and the answer is no, it's a passion. So the fact that you guys have done this purely for the reason of you want the next generation of bands and the next generation of people who support bands to have something to continue with rather than it disappearing, and that's brilliant.
I think there's a lot of people in the industry that have a passion.
Yes.
I mean, I'd like to actually give a shout out to Steve Gould, who does fusion.
Hi, Steve.
Yeah, I think you know him.
I do, absolutely.
The man's a legend.
He is.
Imagine he's
from
a
my,
legend.
From my Bewdley days, I know Steve.
Yeah, we call him Sparrow because he wears a bandana and he looks a bit like Jack Sparrow, but that's another thing.
Big prog rock fan, if I remember.
Yeah,
Yes.
but he puts on so much passion into setting
Yes.
these events up. I mean, the true idea of a passion for music artists is there was a band at the last one this year that flew themselves from America, paid for all their travel, just to appear at his event.
Fantastic.
And that's commitment, right? To come all over, at their own expense to get there. And that's what a lot of these bands are doing. They're doing it a lot of the travelling and stuff at their own expense to get there. And without people like Steve who are prepared to put it on and make sure the bands are all treated fairly, he's got another one next year. Check it out on GigJuice.
March at the Civic in Stourport.
Okay.
Fusion 5.
Fusion 5. So 5 is that the 5th anniversary?
Absolutely.
Fantastic. Excellent stuff.
And it's got really established now. People are buying tickets in advance.
Great stuff.
They can't wait to get there. Prog rock, I didn't realise just how many enthusiastic fans there is.
Yes.
And they will travel from all over the world. And, in this country, it's incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got probably, I think he said about 18 bands over the weekend.
Brilliant.
So there's a lot to do. Check it out.
Yeah.
The marvellous
will really
Frank
enjoy it. It's a great day.
Carducci is coming over from France.
Bonjour and all that. You mentioned a rather interesting character or musician who has joined GigJuice.
I did, yeah. It's a piper.
Sorry,
yes.
Steve. I'm sure Man went,
Yes.
I sorted that out, see. That's why I was
Did you
going...
notice that blank look
Yeah,
then?
absolutely. I used to see it years ago.
Yes, we do actually have a Highland bagpiper on GigJuice.
Brilliant.
Because we are about every sort of music.
Yeah.
So if you're musical, get yourself onto the platform.
Excellent. I did spot, when I was looking earlier, some a Madonna tribute.
Yeah.
I think is she playing at the Robin too, I think.
Yeah.
So there, as you say, there is bits and pieces for every man and his dog, isn't it, really?
Yes.
So
Well, this guy, he went on. We didn't contact him, he just went on, put him on there.
Yes.
He put all his bio about him, put some great photos of him in his kilt and his pipe.
Fantastic.
There, back to back. Absolutely fantastic. This is the sort of guy who'd be absolutely unique for a wedding or something like that. But yeah, absolutely. It's anybody really who can help in the music industry, whether you're a business, a promoter, a festival, whatever. It's all about bringing everything together.
It's almost like a one-stop shop, isn't it? And
Yes.
I noticed there were some links as well. So if people, if bands have got stuff on YouTube, maybe, for example, there are ways to link into their music. So if you're looking at something and going, oh, I've heard of those, but I'm not quite sure whether they'll be my cup of tea, you've got the opportunity of having a link there to play and go, actually, do you know what? I definitely want to go and see those.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Great stuff. Now, Mand, you were also talking about the support that you're giving to obviously upcoming bands and people who maybe not have a massive online presence out there. And you're also delivering some workshops in September. Tell me a little bit about those.
Yeah, we are going to be doing free workshops where we are present to help you promote yourself and get the most out of the platform.
Brilliant.
We do have a social media expert who'll be joining us.
I'm guessing that's not you.
No. So there'll be a lot of advice there to make you stand out from the crowd.
Brilliant. And that's 0 pence that's costing.
That's right.
Worth
So
every cent.
get yourself signed up to GigJuice and start watching the posts, because that's where we'll announce the events.
Brilliant
on
stuff. And you say
GigJuice.
these are going to be in September.
Yes.
And are we allowed to say they are going to be at certain venues as well? We won't name the venues at the moment.
We are looking at Worcester as a location,
Yeah.
Kidderminster.
Okay.
If any other venues would like to announce themselves as potential spots where we can do this,
Brilliant.
probably on a Saturday afternoon when people are free.
Great stuff. Excellent. So we're learning so much today. This is what we like. Mandy and Steve, just a final... So why should people get involved with GigJuice for the final time?
Because we don't want music and venues to disappear.
Absolutely. And people, whether you're an artist, whether you're a venue, whether you're a lover of music who wants to know where the next great venue is and the next great band is, those are all the people who really should be involved in joining GigJuice.
Yeah.
Brilliant. And GigJuice is www.gigjuice.com.
GigJuice.com.
GigJuice.com. Fantastic stuff.